everybody was reporting VFR, but there was still that kind of scuddy layer hanging there. An IFR pilot, an instrument-rated pilot, can get in trouble pretty easily if they don't file IFR. I'm Jason Miller, a full-time professional flight instructor. On the Finer Points channel, you can join me as I bring you tips and tricks that I've learned from 20 years on the flight line. Hello aviators, welcome back to the Finer Points. I'm feeling super lucky today. I actually was blessed enough to fly a Cessna 182 from Auburn Airport and commute by airplane to my day here at San Carlos as a CFI. I just finished 2 lessons. I had a really early start this morning. There's some great learning moments that I want to share with you guys about my flight out here. But the lessons were pretty routine. It's a windy day in the Bay Area, but otherwise the weather is good. So I'm gonna hop in the 182 and fly back to Auburn, and I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride. Let's do it.
40 Yankee Squawk 4207.
4207.
5-line Cess 48 Yankee, contact NorCal 12535.
Okay, going to 125.35. Have a great day. Talk to you later. 48 Yankee. NorCal Skylane 5148 Yankee, just departed San Carlos, flight following Auburn.
5148 Yankee, NorCal approach, INN. Number 4 Yankee, try to contact 3 miles north of the San Carlos Airport, altimeter 3006, altitude.
3006, we're 1,000 climbing, got a little bit of a cloud layer above me that breaks up just past Hayward. I'm just going to climb above 1,500, so I'm clear of their airspace, if that works for you.
So on the way out of the bay, most of the weather had moved through. There was still kind of like a scud layer hovering around 3,000 feet, which can be pretty tight against some of the terrain around there. Not too bad. So my plan was to fly to the east until I found a hole big enough to get up on top and fly the rest of the way VFR. I'll tell you how that went in a moment. But first I wanted to double back to the morning flight. When I left, the weather was pretty bad. You can see here when I looked at it the night before on the surface analysis chart that there is a cold front coming off the Pacific Northwest with lots of water in it. And the weather was really building up in front of it. It hadn't yet reached Auburn, but I knew that by the time I woke up, it would probably be right on top of us. Sure enough, when I woke up in the morning, it seemed that the most severe part of the weather had just passed, but that meant that the cold front had passed too, and the air temperatures were quite cold. I could see my breath while I was pre-flighting in the rain, and there was an air met for moderate, rime, and mixed ice from the freezing level up to 20,000 feet. Now, I have a no-go that says if the freezing level is at or below the MEAs, then I won't go. So I left myself enough time to drive. However, on this day, my initial clearance was to 4,000, and the MEAs in the direction I was flying were 3,500 and then getting lower because I was flying toward the valley. So my no-go didn't apply. None of the no-goes applied, so I went ahead and departed. But shortly after departure, ATC threw me a curveball.
NorCal Skylane 5148 Yankee is 1,800, climbing 4,000.
Skylane 5148 Yankee, NorCal approach. Good morning, reset transponder, squawk 4577.
4577, 5148 Yankee.
NorCal EPS 964 Heavy 2,100 for 4,000.
EPS 964 Heavy, NorCal approach. Good morning, radar contact, climb and maintain 17,000.
17,000 EPS 964.
November 48 Yankee, radar contact 2 miles west to Auburn Airport, Sacramento altimeter 29906. Climb and maintain 7,000, expect 7,000 as your final.
Okay, ma'am, any chance for a lower altitude due to the icing air mat?
November 48 Yankee, climb and maintain 5,000, expect 5,000 as your final.
Okay, we'll climb maintain 5, and we'd like as low as we can get the whole way through if possible.
November 48 Yankee, Roger. Just for now, climb and maintain 4,000. I'll see if I can keep you there.
That'd be great, thanks. 4,000. 5148 Yankee.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys as, as an example of how you can ask for things from air traffic control. If you're very specific, tell them what you need and why you need it. If they can, most of the time they will accommodate you. And in this case, that was great. I flew home at 4,000 feet. The outside air temperature was 4 degrees and everybody was happy. So remember that flight on the way home where I was looking for a hole in the clouds trying to get up on top? That didn't work out quite as well as I thought it would. I did find the hole, but when I got up on top, the cloud tops were much higher than I thought they were. There were some buildups I was having trouble maneuvering around, so I just went ahead and asked for an IFR clearance.
Okay, well, if possible, then, yeah, I think I'd like an IFR clearance to Auburn.
Number 48 Yankee, Roger. You're clear to Auburn Airport. Direct Sacramento VOR. Direct. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Okay, direct Sacramento VOR, direct, and descend maintain 5,000, 48 Yankee. Thank you.
So I was very grateful to have the instrument rating and the ability to get that IFR flight plan. When you're operating at low altitude beneath the clouds, it's an operation known as scud running, and it's very dangerous. The tendency is to get pushed lower and lower and lower. And even if you're instrument rated and you end up in the clouds, you're usually not protected by any procedure. There's no departure procedure you're on. You may or may not be on an airway. You may or may not know what the minimum en route altitudes are and all of that sort of stuff. So I was glad that I filed IFR. In retrospect, I probably should have filed IFR straight from San Carlos and just flown the whole flight IFR. But this day wasn't too extreme. I'm just sort of pointing it out as an example of why you might want to get an instrument rating, or if you have one, why you should stay current and be comfortable kind of in both worlds. So I got to do a little bit of cloud surfing on the way home. I did not have to dodge any of the buildups. I could just relax, fly right through them. And there you go. There's 2 little learning moments, 2 little takeaways from my commuting, my most awesome day commuting to work by airplane. One is don't be afraid to negotiate with air traffic control. And the other is if you're an instrument rated pilot and the weather is marginal, probably best just to file IFR. Eventually I got cleared for the visual approach, which is just like a VFR approach once I had Auburn Airport in sight and I could just maneuver in visually and do the landing.
Final approach path is clear. Auburn traffic, Skylane 5148 Yankees, turning final, runway 25 Auburn. RP doesn't exist, gas is on both, undercarriage is down, mixture is rich, prop is forward. Auburn traffic, Skylane 5148 Yankee, clear of 25 Auburn. Alright aviators, that's all for this episode of The Finer Points. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and a huge thanks to the patrons. There's tons of bonus content on Patreon, and that support has been huge throughout this COVID time, so I hope you're enjoying the videos, and a huge thanks to the patrons for helping with that. Also to the sponsors, definitely go show them some love. And if you want a free gift video, come to learnthefinerpoints.com. It's my entire story from aviation enthusiast all the way through ATP, CFII, and where I am today. So maybe you can learn from my mistakes. There's also a free 3-day trial of our ground school app. You can find out more information at the website, learnthefinerpoints.com. I hope you all have an awesome day. You are the best fans on the internet. I'm Jason Miller. Until next time, be safe, fly your best.